Welcome to the first episode of A Pursuit of Man. I'm Matthew Smith. I started this channel to voice my opinions and give some input on some things. I have been inspired by great men before me, and we'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later. But for right now, I want to talk about the pursuit of being a man. When I was younger, I thought of being a man as more like, oh, he's a male, he's a man. But as I got older and as I continued to grow, I'm realizing that there are definitely some qualities that don't make you a man, and definitely some qualities that put you outside of the box and into the category of what I deem a man. It pretty much started when I was a teenager. I got into search and rescue, and I saw a whole, I don't even know how to explain it, a whole nother world outside of my own world that was strong men, and there were a lot of women there too, but the strong men seemed to lead, and they led with confidence and courage and honesty and humility and respect, and I wanted to follow them. And it's not like they were an authority figure, so I wanted to follow them. There were definitely some on my team that I didn't necessarily want to follow, but I followed because they're authority. But there were definitely a few that I can name that pull me towards them with their, I don't even know how to explain it. And as I continue to grow, I hope to be able to explain exactly what I mean by when I say that. Okay, bear with me here. This is my first time doing it like this with this setup. There's going to be a few cuts for sure. The whole reason behind me saying a pursuit of man is I believe that just like the pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of man is kind of similar. As our knowledge grows and as we find other people that we consider to be men, and they have qualities that not necessarily everyone else has, your understanding of the word and your personal definition of it grow. And as they grow, you must also grow. So I don't necessarily think that there's ever going to be a time where I'm like, you know what, that guy is the perfect man, or that I will be the perfect man. The only thing that I can do is be the best man that I can personally be. And I think once your knowledge grows, so does your opportunities to improve. So if you said, you know what, I need to be a good family man, and then you did everything you needed to do to get there, and you did it consistently, and now you don't have to consciously think about being a family man, you just are a family man now. So now that you're a family man, that opens up the new opportunity to be a better family man. Every day you could be better than you are the day before. So it's always a pursuit. It's not a race. It's not, there's no finish line per se. But if my main mantra is, if you died tomorrow, die a better man than you were today. A few years ago, I was scrolling through YouTube, and I found a page called Warrior Poet Society. The specific video I was looking at was called Where Courage Does Not Come From. So I clicked on it, and I started watching it, and John Lovell, the host there, he was saying things, and he wasn't just saying things. He said everything he said had a meaning behind it, and you could watch him enjoy saying those things to you and telling you about it. And that's something that I've always strived to do. So here's my crack at it. But as I began to watch more and more and more of John Lovell and his mantra, it's the Warrior Poet Society. And I loved that because he talks about being a warrior and a protector and aggressive and being able to just be a normal dude and then flip that switch and be a fierce, aggressive protector. So that your family and everyone who loves you and your friends, they don't fear you, but the people who need to fear you, they fear you. And it's almost like a gray man mentality. You're just hanging out, you're the family man, and then boom, you're doing whatever needs to be done. And then the other side of that is the poet, the family, the caring man, being a good man for your wife, your kids, your friends, being there when you're needed. And so those two joining together, that balance there is key. And I noticed in my own life that I don't really have that balance. So a few years ago when I started really watching what he was doing, I was taking notes and I was trying to put them in place. And I think my biggest problem with that was I didn't really have a structure. Just like you watch a movie and you feel inspired during that movie, but then the next day you're like back to square one. Like there's no change. But like as soon as the movie's done or during the movie, you're like, oh man, I need to change my life. This is what I need to do. All this stuff that motivation that it gives you, you don't do anything with it. I sure didn't. And so it wasn't until Warrior Poet Society came out with the Warrior Poet Society Network, and I promise you this is not a paid advertisement. I do subscribe to him and I do pay for it, but it is not an advertisement, but you do need to go check it out. Anyway, he came out with the Warrior Poet Society Network, and it was basically getting off of YouTube just in case, who knows what's going to happen. So that's what it was for. And on there, I saw The Order of Man, and it was by Ryan Mittler. He does similar to what I'm doing now. I'm following in his footsteps for now. But he talked about what it meant to be a man. It's to protect, provide, and preside, which I think is awesome. And I do have his book, Sovereignty, which I did read, and it changed my life. It didn't change my life in the way that I was talking about with those movies, though. It changed my life because it didn't just tell me all these things and give me this motivation and then that's it. He gave me the motivation and then he gave me a plan. It's called a battle plan. And he gave me the plan to do it. And that's something that I've been missing basically this whole time. I feel like I'm a pretty ambitious person, but I now know that I'm ambitious in certain areas and I lack in the other areas, which is definitely something that reading this content, watching this content, is really getting me in tune with what I need to do and keep that drive going throughout my whole life rather than just the workforce, which is really what I've kind of focused on is when I'm working, I'm the best. That's it. My drive, my work ethic, everything is there. But outside of that, for whatever reason, it's just difficult. And I think now that I'm thinking back at it, it's the fact that I have a structure. I have a job description. Everything in that job description is what I do. And to prioritize that and what comes up and all that stuff, piece of cake, because that's my structure. I have a manager that tells me what I need to get done. I have coworkers that need help with things when they need help with things. That's my structure. I don't really have a structured life. I have a structured work life. So reading that book, Sovereignty, and getting a battle plan and formulating my vision for myself and who I want to be, and then working through it. It goes day to day and month, 90 days, and then every 90 days you kind of remake your battle plan and redo it. You can continue on with the things like working out and stuff, but at that 90 days, hopefully you've ingrained some of the things that you've been trying to do, so it changes your objective. So like my first objective is to actually start working out. Obviously I know I need to do it. I've gained a few pounds since high school. Not too bad, but it's still bigger than I should be. I'm not a good protector if I can't do that. So that's on that side, right? Which both of these, Ryan Mittler and John Lovell, they both say that. And Ryan's cool, he's honest, so he says the same thing, and he had to do the same thing. It took him years to do it, but he's getting there too. But so that's definitely a weakness. I know. Everyone knows that you're supposed to work out and you're supposed to diet, or not necessarily diet, but portion control, all that stuff, intake, outtake, exercise, all that good stuff, right? We all know it, but we don't do it. And my lacking area of that was the structure. So I'm very fortunate for him to give me that structure, so I'm able to work on it just as I do with my job and get it through and maintain that and continue to my next objective and my next objective and so on and so forth. Therefore, I'm in line with my mantra of tomorrow I'm a better man than I was today. In the next episodes, we're going to talk about the key elements that I think make a man a man. This is my personal opinion. I do take a little bit from here and there because, of course, as I grow, my opinions change, and as my opinions change, my objectives change, and all of that combined together, it makes me a better man. So, thanks for watching. My name's Matt. This is The Pursuit of Man.